you usually do have access to one legendary. I wouldn't say... I don't think that's always. Because I feel... What if it is supposed to be... Oh, no. Oh, I've been recording the wrong screen. Hello, folks. Welcome back for another episode of Our Journeys. Holy cow. So much has happened, and we just got started. I got through 2 games. First, we started with Card Shark Charlie. It was a close game that unfortunately he lost. And then we jumped into K Fluffy game, got that one right off the jump as well, and he was actually against Abysmal Behavior, who is either very easily amused, very easily amazed, because every time K Fluffy did something to that was effective or that would take something away from Abysmal, he would say, superb work. So we can expect to see a lot of superb works coming from Abysmal Behavior, possibly because the character emoting it does sound sarcastic. I think that could be part of it, and it does tie into his theme of being abysmally behaved. But anyway, that is behind us now. Now it is Card Shark Charlie. So within 2 games, I've seen these 3 players all together. It was really cool. The problem is, for the first time ever, OBS decided it was going to record the other monitor, which has nothing on it except for OBS. So I got 2 games of commentary, amazing games, without any games. You got the audio, and you got me talking, but you couldn't see anything. Not really worth a whole lot, so unfortunately, those got scrapped, and now we're starting afresh with Card Shark Charlie up against Abysmal Behavior. Both of them coming off of a recent loss. I say that just to kind of raise the stakes. It's like, oh, they both got something to prove here. But I can speak for Card Shark Charlie that he's really got nothing to prove. He's a fantastic player. And it's just a matter of whether or not he's going to be able to triumph. I mean, Abysmal did play well. I mean, he gave K Fluffy a good run for his money. It really came down as a very, very close game. And K Fluffy was just able to pull it out, made some really great decisions, and just won by better play. But we see Card Shark working his way up. He is in the Warrior. Abysmal Behavior is already at the Lady. Ooh, and there's Schwaaard Ambusher. Ping ping, she says. Unfortunately, not able to get a kill on either of those. That's always the best part, especially if your opponent has just a ton of one. Oh, and Tiny Dragon also is going to be unable to get a kill. But it will enable the Halalu Sharpshooter. Well, I don't know if that's worth hitting the 3-1. It's not. Well done, Card Shark. Seeing between the lines, I was like, why would he use it on there? He doesn't have anything to be silenced, but it makes him a target. So yeah, Pointy Wall, saw that before. Abysmal Behavior does also he has at least 1 legendary, and it is a Lyneth. So we know that is in his arsenal. It came down at the very end of his game with K Fluffy. So that is part of his repertoire. I mean, it's one thing, I don't know if you have to always get a legendary when you're in Arena. I feel like if that's the case, I got screwed over because I feel like I've had some Arena games where I think, it doesn't matter if I feel it. I think I've had, ooh, Hrothgar Forge. Nice. Premium, too. Okay, there we go. We got a little glistening off the hammer. I would expect a little more light coming in from that light source at the top of the card for a premium. Just a few flame effects really doesn't sell it, especially as an epic. I'd like to see a little more effort on that card, folks. A little more effort, but otherwise we're okay. What was I saying? Oh yeah, because if I recall, there were some Arena games where I didn't get a legendary option. But regardless, some of them aren't great. They're legendaries, but they're just not going to be amazing. There's a lot of relatively mediocre legendaries in this game. That may be great in Arena, but they are more or less objectively mediocre. But Lyneth, that's one of the better ones. Dagoth Ur, that's another great. Tazcad and Kano, you got your top tiers. So getting one of those is a pretty big deal. Obviously, Lyneth can't pull, in most decks, constructed decks, she can pull whatever you need in the situation. Whatever the next turn, if you're the opponent, whatever the next turn is going to be, it's going to suck because whatever you're trying to do, they've just put the answer to that, in theory, into their hand. When you're playing an Arena, Yeah, I mean, you're talking about Grummites, I mean, or Grummites, or yeah, Grummite. How many times do you want to pull that out of your deck? That said, as I've been blabbing here, Card Shark is getting whittled down by abysmal behavior, who just keeps seemingly spawning creatures out of nowhere. I mean, I see that he's got the little, he's got the Corsair support there, but that only spawns one critter and just gives knives to everybody, and judging by the board, it's just been recently played. So hopefully his pouncing Senshi can stick. If it does, oof, and well, that is fantastic. Oh!
Most unfortunate.
There we go. Thanks for the abysmal comment, abysmal behavior, but it is, in fact, sad. But Card Shark knew that. That wasn't a, like, that's the function of the card. And I think he was playing it for the body. So unless Abysmal can remove it, a la a Piercing Javelin, it's really not all that unfortunate. Because Card Shark specifically played that card. Oh! Okay, yeah. Sorry, folks. I'm a little slow. I'm still frazzled from having 2 amazing full games starting off the day with by 2 top-level players completely scrapped because OBS decided it was randomly going to switch monitors, and I did not think to check for that. So I was a little frazzled, but that was a random item assigned to him. Card Shark may very well have been expecting to be able to charge. He gets a shackle, so it was unfortunate. For some reason, I thought in my mind, because I played with it, that he had put Throne Aligned on there on purpose, and that was just not the case. So you can see the 4-4 poke. 7-10 finish off the 6-5. Abysmal still has too many cards in his hand to feel too comfortable. Okay, no! Card Shark making great use of his slightly overcosted Pterodactyl. I mean, it's a prophecy, which is great, but it's a 6-cost 3/3.
Be gone or forfeit your life.
Sounds like she's demanding a concession. Does it destroy a creature altogether? No, it's deal. Is it -2, -2? Is that what she does? Yeah. See, I can do that math. Oh, yes, and he does have... Is it this game?
A taste of Lord Dagon's power.
Yes, he has. He also plays the Mask, where you can switch all lanes. The Ball. Something Ball. A Grand Ball, I think it's called. He does have that as well. He used it against K Fluffy. And unfortunately for him, set himself up for a very crucial... ooh, now there you go. Superb work, I do believe, would be the call. Who knows? Boy, Card Shark's going to take 8 here. He's lucky he's got Drain on the board.
You leave me no choice.
I don't think Abysmal Behavior is going to be able to finish this off right now. And he can Swift Strike with it as well, so he can heal for 10 next turn, provided something like that doesn't happen. Still heal for 8.
Lord Dagon comes.
Alright, and Abysmal Behavior just trying to make that final push. Very reminiscent of the game against... You can hit the 4-4, yeah. Get the health up. Drain for 12. Get your Sharpshooter to ping the 3-1. It'll give him a random Daedra, which could be very problematic depending on what he ends up with, a la Aspect of Her Scene or well, any number of other ones. Great use of that there. I wonder... Yeah, I don't think Debilitate is going to happen here. Giant Slaughterfish, interesting.
My bow is ready.
That's what I don't get. You know, when you talk about trying to build a deck in an arena, it's like you say, okay, I got the Slaughterfish, great card if you've got a lot of animals. If you don't, right, it's just animals. Yeah. So you're like, okay, I got that. All right, I'm going to build an animal deck, and then you don't draw any animals. It's like, well, okay, well, I tried. All right, so Abysmal Behavior has to make that trade. Probably going to go face with a 6-4. No reason to trade with a 1-4. Still, like, just never seems to really run out of cards, you know? It's unfortunate state of affairs. That's going to make that debilitate worth a heck of a lot more.
Just in the nick of
Oh,
time.
this is going to be a great debilitate.
Khajiit will use their strength against them.
Okay. Well, that'll survive, but... Ooh. Oh, Skooma Racket's here, perhaps? Nope. Okay, gonna shackle. Oh, another high roll. Boy, oh boy. Dwarven armaments. And that really puts Karchark in a good place. Ooh. Ooh. To be fair, spamming emotes, frequent commenting, it does kind of beg that kind of thing. And I give Karchark credit, because a lot of times people will do that on the turn that they're going to swing for lethal. So it's like, you're not really calling your shot. It's like, oh, you know, big talk, you know, if you're finishing it off, which, you know, there's nothing wrong with that, especially if you are up against a taunter. There's Lyneth, right on cue. But I think it's an extra amount of bonus when you're calling your shot and you're still not, I mean, this game is not wrapped up by any mean. By any mean? By any means. Oh no! and Karchark. I mistimed my taunt. Yeah. Alright, he can still take out the 4-2.
This one offers something tasty.
Unfortunately, he is one away from death. If Abysmal Behavior pulled a lightning bolt, the time to die weakling was definitely... Like I said, I give him props for
I will end you.
being so bold.
Blows. Godhood is like
And that happened with... This is almost exactly what K. Fluffy was up against in that game.
darkness as I
He had Lyneth, and he drew right into Vivek, and that is going to do it for poor Karchark, unfortunately.
a powerful blow.
Yeah, he's eating a little of that. Okay, well,
I'll fight to my last breath.
I mean, he could have got a mace, but unfortunately, Vivek's going to finish it off.
Fine display.
Oh, we get a little.
Well fought.
Okay, an amicable ending. He is doing a little BMing here. We really don't need to see all that play out, but considering there was some taunts going back and forth, it wrapped up pretty well.
This should be interesting.
Okay, one final game with my archer, I suspect. Given the fact that they're playing red one, which always has good choices, and they're rank 3 in versus arena, I think my chances with this rather touch-and-go archer deck are pretty poor. At least I got the ring, though. But bonus rounds, traditionally I tend to lose.
Bright moons light your path.
Let's see how it goes. Maybe I'll get lucky.
Bright moons light your path.
At least I can ring out some skeevers soon.
I seek the poet god's wisdom.
Yippee not. I'm never going to be happy to see an opponent drain, am I? Let's face facts. That support could be useful.
Vivek, guide my blade.
I'm ready for anything. You're going down.
Typical move in arena, they like to try and wear you down a bit, really. So they... Classic move, anyone who's got like drain, even more so than on ladder, they try and keep their health up so it's really hard for you to get them down before you run out of cards.
I am ready to join the circle.
Yippee not.
Vivek, guide my blade.
Gore and glory. You will join my trouble, mortal.
He's very satisfying, isn't he?
I do not fear.
I might just ring out the support. Might as well get some value from it.
For Skyrim! For Skyrim!
Whack. I'm always a bit nervous when I see yellow because there's so many people who run that guard that replicates itself. What's it called?
May the fates smile on Khajiit.
I think I better put him out there to absorb that. They're not going to let him take that magic, are they?
All will be consumed by the void.
Yippee! Not.
Nothing like a good battle.
It's unfortunate, isn't it?
Your blood will spill.
This is definitely going badly.
I only need one shot.
On the plus side, though, I mean, hopefully they won't have too much more draw,
I'll break
and I can start to pivot. Oh, he's a pain in the butt, isn't he?
You can tell them you thought of it.
Yippee! Not. Well, that delays things, but unfortunately, I think that at least can survive. So maybe I should just risk it. Besides, my hand's not so good. Maybe her. Oh dear. I think I'll try that. That at least survives, doesn't it? Unless they choose to trade, but I don't see why. I mean, they're ahead, so
May the fates smile on Khajiit.
I'll break your spirit. Your
they certainly got good value out of him, didn't they? Yippee! Needs must.
women will be free.
I mean, I would have liked to have done Dreamer, but I need the drain. I always get nervous when they get a big health lead, particularly when
The road ends here. Turn back or
that guard that replicates itself. Please don't kill my lethal. Oh, they would do. Never mind. Okay, I've got a nifty little idea here. Yeah, I'll just do that first. I don't want to give them another card. I'm in desperate need to just hide my... Aw, so cute, that will-o'-the-wisp. Now, if I can get a skeever over there, I can then put lethal on it next round. Take out the big guy. Right.
Tamriel needs me.
Hopefully that will stay alive and not eat removal. I'm kind of hoping they think that skeever's non-threatening and therefore they're here. Leave it be.
Chimeric spirit
Oh,
of the
great.
sky, guide us.
This is gonna hurt. Leave my skeever be, please. I just want it to take out your big boy. I should be able to pivot. Oh, thank goodness I got the illicit butcher. That can buy me some time.
leave this place.
Now I just need to yeah, that should buy me some time. Off-lane first, just a delay. Right. No, I can't make my mind up. I think it's going to have to go on the skeever. Get rid of the big boy. Now, Illicit Butcher will help buy me some time on this dragon.
I have your scent, and soon I'll have your blood.
Oh no, it's a graveyard bug. Oh no. Of all the times. I've not had this for months. Oh, it won't let me pick anything in the graveyard. Let's try coming out and going back in again. This is ridiculous. Oh, for goodness sake. I'm in a position to pivot and come back, and I'm not allowed to pick anything. That's just taking the mick. Let's try again quickly. For goodness sake. I just want to be able to shackle that dragon. This is cruel. Oh no. Damn it. And of course now I've run out of time, it won't let me shackle. Oh, thanks a bunch, system. Oh, that really is salt in the wound, isn't it? That's really cruel.
Alrighty, boy, and I'll tell you what though, I am on fire today because this is like out of the 5 games that I have watched, or the 4 games that I have watched at this point, I have come at the beginning of all of them, which is almost never happens. It's almost always 4 or 5 tries for me to get to this many games. So man, if I had just got those first 2 games.
Good, you are getting there.
Yeah, Karchark just mentioned he was really cool. It was really cool for abysmal behavior to give him a GG at the end, despite the taunting's going back and forth. And you know, and that's another great point too. I've talked about it before. For some people, it's not considered disrespectful. It's not considered. They're just, that's part of the fun of the game for them. But you know, everybody's built differently. Everybody has different expectations. Everybody has different experiences. You know, I had to learn what, you know, I played basketball, nothing, you know, not like to no significant level, but I played in leagues and things, and you know, you just learn that there are some people that trash talking is part of their game. It's not, there's no animus behind it. They don't even know what they're saying most of the time. They're just like, you know, it's, in other words, it's not directed at you, and sometimes it is, but it's still, they're doing it to rattle you. And I you know, I don't think that's a great way to go about it. That doesn't suit my personality, and I think it, you know, I think it's unnecessary. I mean, if you can't beat somebody, I mean, it's one thing to get in somebody's head, like freezing the kicker or something. I think it's another thing to, you know, to be disrespectful, even if it is just in the sake of the game. I just think there's, you know, keeping it friendly is probably a better policy. But anyway, Banana Schwaaard here this is a ladder game. I thought it was a versus arena, but it is a ladder game in the lady against Garbaggio, the Resplendent, with a, oh my gosh. You know, I was about to say this game is marching on, and Banana Schwaaard is just killing it. And then you get a very well-timed Ice Storm from Garbaggio, and is going to retrieve another Ice Storm. At least Banana Schwaaard knows it's there. Now, it doesn't necessarily help. Oh, and it giggles. Hello, Giggles! But I am thrilled to see, like, okay, so obviously I want to see Banana Schwaaard win. That said, this is an expertise deck, and we really hadn't seen a ton of expertise to this point. So it going a few more rounds, we might get to see, so like the Master of, I can never say her name, Master of Incunabula. Okay, maybe it's not that I can't say her name, I just think it sounds silly. Like, I only read the first 3 letters, so I'm like, Master of Incu or something, and I'm like, okay, Incubus or something, but Incunabula? It sounds a little boogly, you know? Master of Incunabula. Yeah. Anyway, she's not getting played here. Fingers of the Mountain came down, and poor Giggles just took a severe beating, reducing her to a measly 1-1.
You belong to us now.
So is Garbaggio running a... Is this a Unite deck? Well, I mean, we're seeing a lot of expertise here, so it would be silly to say that that's not the case. So this is a mirror match, it looks like. I'm just not used to seeing expertise run at all, let alone a mirror match. So either both of them have daily quests that they're trying to conquer, I'm thinking Tome. Oh, Tome into Guildsworn Cavalier would be fantastic, but... Yeah, I was going to say, still, I think, because Master of Incubus... So, because you've got... You can do Tome this turn. No, you can do Flame Lash. Don't know if he's going to do the trade. No, he's not. Okay. Gets him bigger. Fortunately, Garbaggio is sitting on so many cards. You think he's going to have an answer for the
So many persons.
Guildsworn Cavalier. But see, I see cards like that, and I'm thinking a Unite deck. Is this like Unite Expertise? Is that a thing?
Onward to battle. Watch this. Watch this.
Oh, that life gain. I love Giggles, just not when she's on the other side of the board. And the good news is Counterfeit Trinket is a completely free way to trigger the expertise, but Schwaaard really doesn't need it at the moment. I mean, he is... Oh, yeah, I think you got to consider contesting that field lane because that 2-3... Knowing that Garbaggio has enough cards that he can swish it whenever he wants at this point. Because I've actually done that before. I'm like, oh, he's letting my 2-3 live, and I'm just building up all these, all these, because it's the Flame Lash when it comes out. It's based on how many turns you had it. So I had it up to like 7 or 8, but I couldn't kill him. Oh, all right. I mean, luckily Banana Schwaaard has Alfiq Conjure. It's a great way to kind of rebuild. But boy, that was a powerful blow. Might see Counterfeit Trinket come out here to see if he gets something else to draw. Or something else to play. Nope. Oh, another Alfiq Conjure. Great. Okay, so Banana Schwaaard, we're getting to see... I mean, this is more of his mid-game. Depending, I'm not sure... With Expertise, you can really top out at 6. I think that's the cost of the 2-3 that spits out the... Atronox? Aside from Vanis Courier, I think his name is, or Vanis Collier, whatever, the 11 cost, that probably, well, maybe in the deck, I don't, oh my gosh. Garbaggio might not want him to do that, because Ice Storm is not the end-all be-all, and you don't want to be, you start drawing that later in the game, and that's all you can do. And kind of will ensure, though, that that is the last thing Thorana is able to trigger. Okay. Chooses instead to draw a card with the Crusader's Assault. Alright, so Emulating Blast, not a problem. Dawn's Wrath, not a problem unless he can follow it up with something. Flame Lash. Oh dear, what has he got? Lightning Bolt? He can't finish off.
I will not be on the wrong side of this.
Admiral Thorn, boy, this is... It's quite a contest. From me as a player, I would consider this an ugly contest because it's like you've got everything that I play, you've got one way to top it. It's a very frustrating thing to see, but... Ooh, did not like that. You hurt my giggles, he seems to say. You got Timely Wardcrafter, Crusader's Assault. I think we'll see both of those here. Aha! Thank you, Banana, for letting me be right once in like 5 videos. I mean, that's not a big brain play. I mean, it's a good play for Banana. It's just me calling it didn't require any great gaming insight. You don't have to know the game. If you look at that and go, that's just pretty much the right play to make. And here we go. I mean, amidst all the removal and all the stuff that hasn't been going great, Banana has been poking away at Garbaggio, and right now, I almost expected a Dawn's Wrath in that lane, the way things were going. Nope, just 2 douches doing the things that douches do. Banana has no breakthrough. The Gavel of the Ordinator is great, but it's not going to get the job done on this turn. And another Party Pooper, also known as Piercing Twilight, gets rid of the last Alfiq Conjure. Let's see, Manic Jack. Can't really roll too much. Might see the Gavel or Divine Fervor, or both. I would think Divine Fervor and Guildsworn Cavalier for sure. That's 10, and that would be all he could play. Maybe Manic Mutation, but there's really not aside getting lucky and rolling Breakthrough. But even Breakthrough, it wouldn't end the game. It would just he would be able to deal more damage. So it looks like we are going to see Divine Fervor.
Chimeric spirit of the sky, guide us.
So they do survive. Again, dead to another Ice Storm. And we know Garbaggio now has 3 0-cost Ice Storms in his deck, if not more. And Banana Schwaaard remembers that as well, and that's why we don't see him playing any more cards at the moment.
Keep your distance.
So he does not lose his entire board to an Ice Storm. Although with Guildsworn Cavalier, that might not have been an issue. And he's got it! Gavel
It has been my
and Crusader's Assault. Or, I was going to say, if he wanted to, he could have just pinged with the douche, but he goes for the efficient kill. Well done, Banana. Well played. Alrighty, I'm hoping to make up for the game we missed with K Fluffy. I mean, that was such a good, gosh darn game. A great comeback. I mean, it was a great to and fro with Abysmal Behavior, where Abysmal had, had the upper hand for a long time and a full hand, and then K Fluffy was able to slowly over the course of 3 or 4 turns turn the tables. Doesn't do any good for me to describe it. I will just watch the game that we are at here, and that is the second time I believe we saw the game. See, we missed one game with Card Shark Charlie, and he was running 2 of those as well. 2 of these gals here. They lose lethal on their turn, which is really weird. But it is a 3-cost 3/4. Okay, just so I can eliminate the risk of me repeating myself, I won't say anything more about that. But I mean, the Discerning Thief is a 3/4, so not a bad deal. But it looks like K Fluffy. We thought we came in right at the middle, but we kind of did. But he's just really gone on the aggressive. So unless there's a debilitate, it looks like Arg Sparg, the Chosen of Akatosh, is going to meet a quick demise to, as I understand it, the last month's number 2 arena player. Literally number 2, not rank 2, like number 1, number 2, like just right there. Made a very good bid for rank 1, but somehow just came up short.
The power is mine.
So Arcspark has done a little damage to K Fluffy's board. He doesn't have lethal at the moment, but he is only 4 away. Now granted, it's not constructed. We don't know if he's got a lightning bolt or any how much reach he has, but 4 damage is not insurmountable, especially with no drain on the board at the moment. Although Snake Tooth Necklace is always a possibility in those colors. We'll just have to see what Arcspark can do. He can spit out some skeevers, and it looks like that's just going to be game. And it is. Just as all the skeevers fill the board, K Fluffy's going to say, "Ooh, I don't like all these rats. I'm out of here."
Display.
Boink. Disappointment Dragon, able to bring it home. Premium Disappointment Dragon.
This episode brought to you by Stormcall, courtesy of Vincenzo. This is an 8-cost action in intelligence. It is a shout, essentially, so it has a level 1, level 2, level 3, level 1 being typically slightly underpowered, level 2 being about a right cost for what the card does, and level 3 being crazy cool. So it's called Stormcall. As I said, deal 2 damage to all enemy creatures. Now, I cannot remember the name of the person who brought this up. I do apologize. Somebody brought up to be friendly to the lore based on, apparently, I don't know what this effect is in the game, but apparently it does exist in the Elder Scrolls lore, in the Elder Scrolls universe, that it should just be all creatures in general, because it doesn't have the ability to distinguish between allies and enemies. It's just, I'm going to do this damage, or it's going to just do this damage, however you want to think about it. So it would probably, and Vincenzo seemed to concur that, okay, yeah, it should probably be 2 damage to all creatures in general, or suggested it be a random number of creatures. So 2 damage to 4 creatures or something, or maybe it would just be totally random in general, where it's just you play this, it does 2 damage to maybe no character. I don't think that would work. I don't think it could be totally random. He might have specifically said to deal 2 damage to 4 random creatures or 6 random creatures, but it does progress. So we got level 1 is deal 2 damage, level 2 4, and level 3, can you guess it? It is 6 damage. And I like the idea. Vincenzo just said he wanted to bring shouts back and bring them into some prevalence, and I think we probably all, for the most part, would, well, I don't want to assume, but it seems that we would agree that the blue shout, the intelligence shout, is used the least. Dragon Breath, I believe, which is kind of similar. It escalates, and granted, if you have Tharana, or you have the gate, and you can unleash 2 7, is it 7? Is 7 the high end, or is it... No, I'm thinking of Dragon's... whatever it's called. Aspect of Dragon's aspect, whatever it's called. The neutral one. No, this one I think can go up to 12 or something. So, the one intelligence is blue, but the first 2 are so nerfed, I think it's like a 3 cost, and... I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't get a lot of love. So this is an introduction in a way to bring a little more options to the shout mechanic. It may be over cost, I would say. Just because even if you're doing 6 damage... Now, deal 2 damage to all enemy creatures, yeah, I think 8's probably there. But if we are going to go with deal it to all creatures or a random fixed number, then I think it's such a high risk. And to be honest, I want to keep RNG out of the game as much as possible. So I would prefer something where it would be where no matter what it is, you know what it's going to hit. You know either it's going to hit one lane, or it's going to hit all enemy, or it's going to hit the entire board. You know, like like Ice Storm or the green version. Crap, I can't remember my blanking here. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Those you know what you're going to get when you play this card at this cost. You know what you're going to get out of it. I think introducing any kind of random aspect to it could hurt it, and certainly would hurt the cost. I mean, if you're going to deal damage to 4 random creatures that could be yours or your opponent's, I mean, that's almost as bad as like the experimental scrolls. I think those are total. Well, you never know what you're going to get. It never tells you. But even within that, the effects are just kind of wonky. So I don't know that you'd want to go random to any sense. But dealing enemy, it's essentially a growing ice storm. So the first one would be a 2 damage ice storm at 8 cost. Yeah, I think that's too high. If it's only enemy creatures, maybe. But I think as soon as we say all creatures, which is apparently more lore friendly, I think that's when 8 cost is crazy, because you're gonna, yeah, you're almost doing more harm than good. That's pretty much Immolating Blast, but Immolating Blast is cost 1 less. Is it 2 less? 7 cost? I think it's a 7 cost. Maybe it's a 6. 6 or 7 cost, so it's less than, and you know it's going to do damage to everything but 1 creature in each lane. So I don't know, but again, I like the thought. I like the idea of creating more shouts. I remember when shouts first came out, it was Shout Scout, which has a nice poeticness to it. But boy, all you saw was resurrections or soul tears and wow, I'm even forgetting what those things are called. Debilitate was the one I forgot before, and now I can't remember this one. My brain's somewhere. But anyway, I don't need to belabor the point any further. I would encourage everybody think of other shouts, other things. I do think, based on whether or not it is all enemy or all creatures, it may be either overcosted. I don't think it's... The thing with shouts, you gotta remember, that third one needs to be great value. It needs to be, wow, you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. I think 6 damage to all enemy creatures for 8. Yeah, that would probably qualify. If it's all enemy creatures. If it's all creatures, you're screwing yourself just as much. I mean, that's really kind of... you're not going to have a lot of creatures that survive that. Unless you go ward heavy or something and you build around this card, but then you really got to make sure you draw into it. And like I said, it's the first 2, that's way too expensive for what it does, which is what shouts are supposed to be. Anyway, what are your thoughts? I think it's a cool idea. I love the artwork. It seems like it's a card you could pull from the deck right now. And I like the fact that it's branching off into shouts and trying to give those a little more love. But that's all I got. And we're going back to the game.
Okay. And Nayano, I believe that's how you say it. I think this is the first time we are seeing this player here. On my friend list, obviously, is mixing it up here at rank 3 against another rank 3. Both of them hanging out in the towers. Lame Freyout, the Morningstar. And again, I believe it's Nayano. I think it's a silent K. Otherwise, it's Kanayano. It's got to be a silent K. I do apologize, Nayano, if it is not, but I'm going to have to move forward as if it is, because I'm not sure how to pronounce it otherwise. Running a Covenant deck. Looks like it's just a spicy version, or not a spicy version, I guess a beefy version. I just think like the meat and potatoes. Like, give me good cards in my deck. Good cards will win games. That's what it looks like he's got here with Reeve, Belligerent Giant, Skinned Hound. It doesn't seem like there's a tricky theme. It's not a weapons, deck. But he definitely is playing it safe against lame Freyout, which is interesting because typically Ebonheart, unless you're brave, the player, not the attribute. Oh, and Pupper's extra health bonus doesn't really keep her alive, and boy, it really neuters Reeve. And just like that, 2 really formidable cards taken down a few notches. But yeah, typically, Ebonheart, you got to rush them down, because if you let them get to their late game, you're screwed. Looks like, though, with the Nord Firebrands, if I had to guess, I would say this is a Ooh, Drain is probably not what Neano wants at the moment, considering how reluctant Lane Freyat has been to push that damage. But with the Nord Firebrands, thinking a Doomcrag or maybe even a Disciple of Namira kind of thing, which would be the Doomcrag variant, which I think is best run in Warrior without the extra attribute. But Neano says, hey, one of us has to be the aggressor, one of us has to take charge of this game, and it's going to be me. So here I go. And we'll see what lame Freyout has in answer to that.
Let's heat things up.
Yeah, this is definitely a Doomcrag. 100% a Doomcrag, and he's got... So he's got, I think what we're seeing here, we're seeing all the tools that he's been holding on to for the Doomcrag, and unfortunately he's having to blow them all because he hasn't drawn his Doomcrag, which is why... Now granted, you can play a Warrior deck and not draw the Doomcrag. They can be the bottom 10 cards of your deck, and you may never get to them, but the chances of that happening are much higher in a 3-attribute deck.
They missed their shot.
Wow, willing to break a rune to push that 1 extra damage? Interesting. Okay, so he's just going all out. Yeah, this was a Doomcrag with no Doomcrag is what this is.
Prophecies are but words.
Oh! Yep. Oh, there you go. That's the heck of a lot of great value there. And Neano is in a bit of a tough spot.
From their blood.
Although we got to remember, half the cards on that board are piddly little 1/1. So it looks big, lots of cards.
Stay back.
Nothing really impressive. That's a great target for
They will meet their
that. I mean, the 6/6 is a big deal. The big ol' Ash Can. Or Ash Khan, depending on how you want to say it. Yeah, Young Mammoth is a great meat and potatoes card. Great 3-drop. I think I put it in most of my decks that I run in Endurance. But yeah, I think Lane Freyat is really just going to be pushing damage here.
Another volley.
Nope.
They missed their shot.
Yes.
You will feed my clan.
No outlander shall steal.
Yeah, and that may do it. I mean, Neano can bump
Your end.
the Ash Can out,
I am all to eat.
but Lane Freyat still has lethal, unfortunately. And there's a Doomcrag. He finally draws it after he's played all the cards that could actually make use of it, except for maybe one. There he goes. He is going to get one lethal ping with his Doomcrag, and unfortunately, Neano is gonna lose this particular game. But don't worry, Neano. We will join you in future games, and hopefully catch you in better circumstances. But it was well fought. Lane Freyat was clearly just kind of holding on to a ton of stuff and just finally unleashed it all. The 6/6, the Ash Can, was really the hero of the game. Those extra cards and that big old body are really what enabled him to pivot essentially on one turn. Aha! Another start of the game! I am on fire! Amarillo Designs. Running, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think the few games that we've seen with Amarillo have been either Covenant or Sorcerer, unless I'm mistaken. And we can see he is in the goofy as heck Atronach, overall rank 2 in terms of the constellations, and he is up against number 37, current number 37, legendary Noemis 31. And I'm guessing Amarillo is having a chat. And that is why we're seeing a bit of a delay there. Because he's an amicable fellow. We've chatted several times. But even with the chat, it does not... The timer does not... wait, what's going on? Alright, so I am watching, sir. I am watching.
They will meet their mate.
It's what I do. Oh no! And suddenly I smell the stench of a market. Sweaty, smelly. Okay, aggro sorcerer. Alright, and Naoma, if you see this video, unfortunately I'm kind of up against the clock right now, so oh boy. So I am here to spectate, not really feeling playing right now, to be honest. I know I say keep playing, and I do mean it, and I do play in my own way, But right now, I kind of had my mind set to getting some observations done. And I'm also somehow I'm getting this like random congestion that is really kind of starting to grate on me a little bit. Alright, so Nomus 31 doing the market shenanigans. I would not be surprised if we don't see a not a Swindler's Market. Is it Swindler? No, what was the card that I'm thinking of? That's Swindler's Market. Yeah, no, it's... Oof. Alright, so Amarillo said this is his aggro Sork deck, so it's well suited to go against him. The unfortunate thing, anytime you're against the market, the unfortunate thing is every time you break a rune, the more aggressive you are, the more zero cost, because that's what they do. They fill their deck with a bunch of zero cost cards and markets and hope for the best, really. And then between those and that, we're gonna see the card, doggone it. It's the 5 cost spoils of war. Spoils. We just call it spoils.
Care to make a friendly wager?
But and I don't see any reach for Amarillo at the moment, unfortunately. So he's definitely up against it here. I mean, it's good. The market's down to 3 cards, and the temptation would be to back off. But the corner club is going to give him 2 more cards plus the one he normally draws. So he's going to be up to 6 cards next turn anyway. Oh, and they're tied in points. So Amarillo can poke for the 2-1 and then throw down the Royal Sage and see what comes of it. And that's exactly what we'll see here. He's going to want to hit, hopefully, drain on something. Okay, should have clarified. Once it hit drain on something big that can swing this turn. All right, he was rolling the dice, hoping to get, I think, drain on him as well. So Nomus, unfortunately, from the way from where I'm sitting and my experience with market, Amarillo is going to have to be very fortunate for Nomus not to be able to turn this around on this turn. He's going to have no spoils in his hand. But with 2 markets on the board and 6 cards,
You bet on the wrong side.
and now a contract.
What are we going after?
Oh yeah, he's got all the stuff, boy. Maybe he's looking for spoils. If he has it, if he finds it. Ooh, oh boy, if that could come down earlier. So, okay, he goes for a face. I was gonna say maybe the fence would be a target because it can enable cards that wouldn't be 0 cost anyway. Okay, Nomus is still fishing. Still fishing with this gambler. Doesn't look like he's got it, but we still has that 3. And there's the spoils. There's the card that made markets the most ridiculous and stupid, well, until Invade came along, kind of deck in the world. Like that market was just, spoils. It should be able to be reduced to 1. Should not be able to reduce it to 0. I don't think any of those cards should be able to do that. Because 1 cost is fine enough to be able to draw 2 cards off of 1. That's more than enough.
I'll learn this spell yet.
And that, unfortunately, is going to be GG.
You've got to go through him first.
Well.
Let's do this.
Oof. I'm not sure why Frost Atronach didn't come down. Because it at least gave him a chance in that field lane, on that shadow lane. Yep. Amarillo sees it the same way I do.
Everything is taken from me.
deck is just...
I will pay in kind.
It was okay. Without Spoils of War, it's a sufficient deck. With Spoils of War, it's broken. Oh my goodness! I don't know what is going on. Okay, aside from me just feeling even worse, like, I don't know, the energy's gone, but I am so thrilled. We came in at another beginning of the game with Rimmen 2012 Friends. We've seen him once or twice before in the past, introduced again by Brave. Thank you so much, Brave. And we are in Arena. Make no mistake, we're in Arena. So when we start seeing some crazy stuff, you know that's why. Like Stonehill Mammoth, for example, a card you don't see a whole lot. It's really cool, though. Fun fact, I got a random premium in a deck. The runes, or the markings on his tusk, actually glow gold. It's a pretty cool looking effect. Alright, so yeah. Me from, I don't know, 6 videos ago, I don't remember when it was, when I was like, well, that's a card you don't usually see except for in Arena. Really surprised to see it played here, not in the Arena. Well, isn't that amazing? And then, of course, realizing too late that it was, in fact, in Arena. My goodness gracious. But I've come a long way since then, folks. A long way. Learned a lot of things. A lot of hard truths. One right now is my nose is stuffed up and I am hungry as heck. But I'm going to push through. Push through because we got to.
Follow me, men.
This is actually the only evening I have this week. So I needed to make it count. And I think we've done a pretty good job. We got some great games. Again, the first 2, but we've had some great games since then. So I can't complain. It's been a good day. Been a good day. A lot of times I'm this far into a video, and which is about the 45-minute mark, and I've only seen 3 games because I've joined too late, or I've joined a game that I think I haven't joined too late on, and then 20 seconds later I realize, yeah, it was too late because one player or the other just crushes the board with something out of the blue, and it's like, okay, GG. Alright, so both players have the... Apparently this is a very popular choice in Arena. Make a note. War Hardened Sensei. And Kalfus the Ghost Whisperer gets a prophecy, chooses to hold on to it. Interestingly enough, I'm wondering what prophecy that would have been that he wouldn't have used it. I mean, a Piercing Javelin, certainly for the 5/4. Oh, think. What other prophecy would you not want to play on a board like that? I mean, unless he has an answer for the 5/4. If he's got a lightning bolt or something, I guess maybe. But I would still play the free card. I don't know. Let's keep an eye on it. So I think it's this card right here, right there. That's the one right there.
It's okay. Stay behind me.
I guess I could hear that voice line coming out of her. Like I was thinking, like her, the grit teeth and everything, like the look. She's more like, bring it on or something like that. But it could also be that just that, get behind. Like she's like kind of gritting, like, oh boy, whatever's coming after us is a big deal. And so it's kind of like I'm trying to keep myself calm, trying to keep you calm. Don't want you to get freaked out. Stay behind me. Something like that. I could see that happening. Sometimes it doesn't always happen. Oh, bam! The Ogre. That is definitely a fantastic Arena card and a almost never seen ever constructed card. Although I've played it in one of my decks. Actually, after seeing it in Arena, I'm like, you know what? That's actually not bad. The problem is it's not permanent, and I don't think I realized that. It does. I mean, it says this turn. It's spelled out for you. But I think in my mind, I saw it. And I'm like, oh, it lasts. And I didn't pay attention after that. I was just like, Ogre, awesome. And then I used it, and I was like, oh, it goes away after that turn. It's a one and done deal. So the ball's in Kalfus's court. Pondering what exactly to do with it. I'm still perplexed by the withholding. Okay, so I think this is the prophecy. Nope, never mind. He was looking at the prophecy that he didn't play. Okay.
Stendarr will protect me.
Not if that Nord Firebrand gets a little bit bigger. Hackwing will do it, won't it? Yeah. Throw Hackwing on that Nord Firebrand and Stendar isn't doing jack diddly squat for you, lady, unfortunately. But it doesn't look like that's what Rimmon has in mind. Guessing a plea to Carinth after... Ooh, or maybe he's going to trade the 2-1 in. Well, no, if he doesn't trade it in, he does the plea. Yeah, I was going to say, he could make the trade, or he could just hit and not have to worry about it. But yeah, it looks like Rimmon's going to take this one pretty handily, barring a Dawn's Wrath here. So Kalfas, yeah, just a little bit of a perplexing play. I know it's like, why isn't he letting go of that prophecy? I'm so dumbfounded by it, especially when we see where we're at. If Kalfas was winning right now, I'd be like, okay, he did something genius with that, or that was something that I need to take note of. But I think that it was either a misplay or a misjudgment, or I mean, goodness knows I've had enough of those. But yeah, and maybe it's a new player. I mean, we do see here Rimmon, despite being a very high level player, an incredibly high level player, we see him at a very relatively low rank. Well, I mean, it's not a low rank because it's high, but it's low. You know what I'm saying? It's 12, but 12 is bad. Or 12 is low, so that's confusing. But you know what I'm saying. I don't have to explain that to you. He's at the entry level. There we go. He's at the entry level in Arena. So probably much like me, he just doesn't play a lot of Arena. Plays a lot more Constructed. Although he's much better at Constructed than I am. And so Kalfas, although I feel like I recognize that name. Why do I keep saying that? I believe I recognize the name. And again, much like Rimmon, I think he's a high-level player. But just what we saw, whether just bad draw, and right now we're seeing some bad manners. Really bad manners. So hopefully, either that or the reason I remember Kalfas is because he's a turd muffin. Or behaves as one, conducts himself as one. That seems to be the most likely realization at this point, or the most likely scenario at this point. But Rimmon doesn't care. He gets the win, gets to move on. Alrighty, and here we are, rejoining Neano, seeing if he can conjure a game. Unfortunately, I wasn't able, wanted to see if I wanted to play a friendly game, but with whatever I've got going on here right now, the low energy that I'm feeling, I was supposed to record another game as well, not this one, but another one. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do that. I'm going to eat something, and we'll see if I can do it here. But we seem to come into another BMing person. I mean, I hate to say it. You always hate to say it. But Invade seems to attract a certain kind of player. Leave it at that. So unfortunately, I was hoping, I really wanted to get Neano on on the up and up and up. But we'll put it this way. This will be a formidable foe for him to overcome. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he's able to do. It's rough. He is up against a top 10 player, a Modin. So, who knows? Oh, nice pick off that. Oh, is he going to pick off the gate or the 5-6? Probably the 5-6. The gate has not really matured. But it's rough. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate to see somebody top 10 playing an Invade deck. It's just the truth of it. What would be more unfortunate is if they're a top 10, they have that top 10 card back because they played Invade. Versus, yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. So I will just assume, for my own sanity, that he got there through playing better decks, more challenging decks, and has simply fallen to the dark side out of boredom or some other possible cause. Now, putting up a good fight here. Really, I mean, the gate is not a dire issue at this point. Unfortunately, he's got 2 Flesh Atronachs this early in the game. That is just incredibly unfortunate. That's like some of the worst draw you can have. Fortunately, his 3-2 is online. His Marsh Blade, his Sly Marsh Blade is online to give him a little more draw. But those Flesh Atronachs, and I would guess he may only run 2 of them, and for them to both be in his hand at this stage in the game is just not. It's very unfortunate. That's what I'm hoping for. There we go. I was going to say, he's looking for that squish. So I'm guessing we're going to see the Venom Tongue and Squish the Wimpy on the gate.
I raise the spine of battle.
Yep. Keeps the Venom Tongue alive to be able to kill the 4/4 if he so desires, and undoes the harm that has been wrought by the gate so far.
The Black Hand sees all.
Black Hand can't see Ungulum, you silly little person, you. Hands can't see, eyes see, but, you know, apparently he's just not that clever. Alright, so Aemondon. So I wonder if Neano is now running a Doomcrag list of his own. Oh, right on curve. And those Guardians may just have saved this game for Neano. That is a heck of a top deck. Well, more or less a top deck. I mean, the improvised weapon is technically the...
May the forebears guide me.
You're in a pretty good spot. It just got a little less good. And there again, the demonstration of the synergy that makes Invade such a problem, in my opinion. I don't think you should be able to do... you should be able to have a removal that costs one more than a Piercing Javelin, but that also triggers an Invade, considering how crucial those gates are to success. I don't think there should be that much synergy there. And those Fletcher and Astronauts, that's really it. I mean, that draw right there is why Neano unfortunately is in the situation he's in. Because those two cards, I'm guessing almost anything else in his deck would be more useful. I mean, they're slow now. Okay, now they're getting up there. They're getting up there. If he can survive long enough, he might be able to OTK with one of them. Well, he can't charge with it. Oh my gosh, and just the Prince of Order being able to continue to push that damage, has 7 Magicka to deal with, a gate that's pretty ramped. If we see an invasion party, it's probably over, because he'll start spitting out creatures that can charge and do all kinds of other shenanigans. Neano does have a Thorn Hiss Mage to guard up in that shadow lane if he gets the chance, but...
Khajiit will keep you.
Oh boy. I don't know. I don't think he's lost an Atronach, at least that we've seen. No. Okay. So, but it's still a 5/3, and that's got breakthrough, so it's actually kind of worse in a lot of respects. And yeah, I think that's going to be game for Neano, unfortunately. Thorn-Hissed Mage absorbs all but 2. Yeah, unfortunately, Aemondon has exact lethal just with what's on board right now. So, good game, Neamo. Good game. It's a hard matchup. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Duh. Wow, how did I miss that? So that now... Of course he would have Bobo. Why wouldn't he? Okay, we're not getting Amarillo at the very beginning of the game, but kind of in the mix of things. Isn't really at a... I mean, he's definitely at a board disadvantage at the moment. Hoping to see him be able to turn this around. Up against Moreno's 66, which I believe I've seen that name before. The Gladiator. With 10 damage on board that is not going to be able to be thwarted unless somehow Amarillo gets guard on his Mad Jack.
Magnificent monster.
Or charge. Charge is an option. He's not going to push damage, is he? No. Ooh, that's going to be tight if Moreno just has that one ping, i.e. the Archer's Gambit. That's going to be bad news for Amarillo, but doesn't seem to. Okay, oof. And Kano was 2 turns away from activating. So Amarillo is going to be able to push, which is what he wants to do with this deck. Probably even see the Sentinel Reclaimer come out and buff up Jackie a little bit more. No? Okay.
Well, let's see if we can find something useful.
And he now has shifted. He's gone quite aggressive in a very short amount of time. I think he's looking to get some value on that Royal Sage. I think that could be what is prompting this assault. Okay, that's not good. When your opponent leaves that 10-1 on the board, you know it's dead. You know it's dead. There's no reason why they would leave that on there. And unfortunately, all right, he really needs to be able to take care of that 7-5, which if he had Encano on this turn, would be a done deal. Unfortunately, he is currently dead on board. High King Emirate can take out the 2-2. Postponing lethal at least. No, it leaves him with exact lethal. Oh gosh, I am so sorry. As you can see, my brain is gone. I do apologize. Amarillo stays alive. Amarillo stays alive for another turn. And hopefully Moreno does not have a Tazcat or a Cliff Racer. Does have a Fell the Mighty. He just has very timely removal here. Ooh, Shrieking Harpy gonna be great. Gonna be great. But unfortunately Moreno also has his own Shackless. Alright, so Amarillo is going to just try to spew out as much stuff as he possibly can onto the board and hope Moreno cannot push that one bit of damage. If Amarillo survives this turn,
It's only
I think he'll be able to pull it off, but he's one away. He's right on the brink. That's a tough place to be.
Behold,
Okay, he's going to roll on Manic, hopefully.
magnificent
Well,
monster.
yeah, that's good. I would have thought maybe in the field lane, because if he did roll charge, he could have thrown a dagger on it and killed the 7-5. But would he really want to do that anyway with the 7-5 shackled? Probably not. Does Moreno have it? He does. And he has Dustfang on the right side of the sword. All right. Good game, Amarillo. That's unfortunate.
Okay, so I figured it would be a good idea to show another arena build from the start. So I'll go for Captain, I think. I mean, it's a difficult choice. I like Blaze Guardian as well. But I think Captain has the overall value because it can buff a whole field. Removal's a must. Pickpocket's good to get a feel for the deck, but probably more on ladder than here. So I went with the Goblin. I need a guard and a 2-drop. Removal definitely, although they're all good picks in certain circumstances. Guard definitely. It's definitely Razam for the extra value, but I do like Alassi. There's the Twin Lamps, my darling. Jackal, I think. That's good for draw. Oh, I'm going to have to pick the Guard Award. No contest there. Definitely a Grey Fox moment. The support, I think I've seen other people use that really well. It's a pain in the butt to get rid of in arena where there's less support removal. Illusionist, I think, is a 2-for-1, or it's a health gain, so I think useful to have. Definitely draw. That's a no contest there, is it? I mean, that's 2 bodies. I mean, she's good. I haven't got a 1-drop yet, but the Lurcher, I'm inclining towards that because it's a big hitter and they have to use any removal on it. Good for bait, also good for late game. Yep, removal's a must. I think it's going to have to be the Blacksmith, and I'll just use him to bait removal. No contest there. I want Captain. Oh no. My hand slipped, honestly. Oh, damn it. I clicked on the root bender by mistake. So clumsy. I think the draft for the card draw. No contest there. Mage is I've seen it used very effectively in arena. Needs some drain. Finally a 1-drop. Oh, it's a difficult choice between Corinth Brawler and Sheer Point. I don't have a lot to capitalise on the ship point, but I do like him. He's very useful. Even though he's got a habit of stalking me and turning up really early in games. But Brawler probably the better pick for given the composition of the deck. Definitely the guard. He's a pain in the butt to remove. Might have to be Blacksmith, because just to have another cheap card. Like the Goblin's got good stats as well, but he doesn't really have anything to draw. Let's see how the newbie gets on then. So the curve on this is a bit better than previous attempts at Dominion in Arena. Could do with a few more 1-drops, but at least the majority are 2. And there are some draw options, and the draw can be a funny thing with Arena. Fresh Start, you always think that's a good card to have, but I have actually drawn it forgetting that I have limited cards, and then run out of cards and lost the match because I've drawn Fresh Start.
Warrior awaiting a challenge.
So nowadays you'll see me looking at both what the opponent's got and what I've got left a lot more frequently, because I tend to forget that I run out quicker.
Will prevail today. Let's find out. Lower the gate.
Okay, I'm expecting Monk to be quite strong, because most people get offered really good picks with Monk, but whenever I've had it, I've been given rubbish. Like hardly any drain, hardly any guards. But other people say it's one of the strongest ones to have in Arena. Oh, look at that naughty Shrine Guardian. I mean, really.
Bright moons light your path.
This is a bad start, isn't it? Despite all those 2-drops. I mean, you think the majority is 2-drops.
Greetings.
So I think I'll have to use him as bait.
Strong arm is what you need.
Try and bluff that I've got some items in here. And hopefully he can become like something to be consumed by Mercenary Captain.
Just speak the name.
Yippee! Lethal. Look at that, my bad click. I think we'll hit face and then trade next time.
My contract is fulfilled.
It's a pretty rubbishy hand. I mean, it's good to have Razan, but not this early. I mean, you've got to laugh at it, really, haven't you?
You will die where you stand.
I mean, I really would like to trade him at a point where I've actually got a board that I can buff with Captain, but it's not looking like that's going to happen, is it?
Is fulfilled. I will protect you.
Yippee! Not. No. Never think about this.
You will die where you stand. I'll pound you into oblivion.
I could really do with getting that lethal chappy off the board.
We of the rich adapt and survive.
Hmm.
The dread will reward.
Oh, thank goodness for that. I can nick that with the Grey Fox next round and then leave his lethal guy over there.
Just forget about C. Everyone does.
Now we're getting into the zone where I should be able to start to do a bit more. Yippee, not, but I'm not too bothered, to be honest.
May the fates smile on Khajiit.
I don't really want them keeping that drain on board. Not really. Okay, maybe I'll do that. Maybe trade and get rid of their lethal creature. I would still put the goblin down as well.
See you later.
I don't know, sometimes I just keep changing my mind. And that was dumb, wasn't it? I don't know why I did that. I really need to play when I'm less tired. Sometimes I just feel compelled to do the most dumbest things. It's so frustrating. I know I should have traded there. Oh, that was dumb of me. Now they're going to have an easy trade and still have their drain on board. I don't know.
My contract is with you.
For my kinsmen!
The Tenars Alvid aren't monsters.
Look at all these gain health cards. This is what happens typically with monk, isn't it?
We are ready for anything.
I don't know. I don't help myself, do I, with my dumb behaviour? I don't know.
There isn't a lot that will keep this one out.
The blood of Coldharker runs through my veins.
If there's something that I can do to make it damn harder for myself, I do, don't I?
The Dren will reward me for this.
The moral of the story is don't play when tired. Don't play when you're post-migraine. I don't know. And probably also keep your mouth shut when you're trying to get your brain to process stuff when it's already running slow. Then you might have a chance of actually doing the right thing.
Don't make me hurt you.
Really. I've only really got myself to blame for this, haven't I?
Gajit's work is never done.
So much for a clean escape.
Right, their body there's got to die. God, I must admit I do feel really tired. I think time to stop after this. Before I do anything more dumb.
Time flows and is wasted. You will not be victorious.
At least that was predictable. They want to take any life gain off board, don't they?
I have your scent, and soon I'll have your blood.
Let's try and actually concentrate for a change. I know it's a shocker for me, isn't it?
Don't be a nuisance.
I'm hoping now, despite my dumb behaviour, that I'm about to pivot. I've still got some good picks there. My goodness, I need a... Well, I would have a coffee, but... Clearly not up to par today, am I? Let's see, what health gain can I get here? And what damage... Actually not... I mean, what damage can I do here with Skeletal Mage? Because I think I need to keep their field as clear as possible now, don't I? While I recover. I don't know what a mess I am today. Can't talk properly. Can't concentrate. Wrong words coming out. Playing the wrong cards. Just doing generally dumb stuff. Oh well, it shows that we're all flawed, aren't we? Okay. That's gonna have to go. They're just trying to delay by keeping their health up, aren't they? I think we've decided it's that one. Thank you, darling. He's one of my new darlings, he is.
This one is always pleased to assist.
Yeah. Put the, let's have a think. I'll do that next. I didn't want to, yeah, he's going to come out.
My sword is yours.
Maybe they'll get bored and I'll get lucky. They probably thought I've been playing so rubbishly that they thought, oh well, this person's an easy kill. I'm feeling a Shrine Guardian coming on, although... Oh my goodness, really? Oh my goodness. Okay, that's not pleasant, is it? Oh, thank goodness for that. Saved by Fingers the Mountain. Maybe the system's taking pity on me for being so dumb today.
I seek Sophocle's knowledge. We shall help reshape the world.
Oh, the two people watching now, I hope... I didn't see when they joined, but hopefully they haven't seen some of my more embarrassing moves. Probably have, though, knowing my luck. They've probably seen every embarrassing moment, haven't they? Oh dear. So, yeah, I think maybe a Shrine Guardian. That'd be cool to have him and Mercenary Captain, wouldn't it?
On their marrow.
Nothing like a good battle.
Let's consume the Grey Fox for some luck, shall we, given how dumb I've been today. Although I probably could just give them a good bashing now, couldn't I? Let's make some progress, so I'm sure I must be getting close to running out on cards. Put the pressure on as well. I love that Jackal's growl.
If I fall, the hiss.
This one is always pleased to assist.
Now that was handy, wasn't it, having that synergy there? Oh, I think Banana's been watching for longer than Shake It Baby.
Stand down, defend us. You can tell them you thought of it.
Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness, despite my daft behaviour. Pulling the wrong cards. Intended to do one thing and then doing the complete opposite. I think thank goodness, despite all of that, my dumb behaviour, I've managed to pull it off.
Nicely done.
It was a good game on their part. It's
It
just
has been an engaging hunt.
I'd rather I hadn't played quite so bad. Time for a coffee, I think.
And that's going to do it for this episode. Bit of a rough road for all concerned. I had the two missed games at the very beginning. Got some kind of nasally stuff going on, and a lot of our brave players today really had a rough go of it against their opponents. But you know what? We sally forth, we continue on, and yeah, we keep playing. So, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I ruined the ending. I don't care. It's just the way the day has gone. Work with me here. Keep playing.